Oh, hi everyone. Gosh, it's so great to be back. And it's really great to be feeling better. So it's been a wild, 6 weeks maybe? But anyway, we're here together and I'm so glad. It's neat to be doing this in the dark again. This is actually how the show started with Akashic Records After Dark and with candlelight and ambiance. So here we are. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year. A little bit late. Well, actually, no, because Chinese New Year, we still got a few weeks for that too. But anyway, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. And hi, everyone signing in. Thank you for joining live. You know, it's funny, I picked, for some reason, I have a little bowl of crystals that I use to do readings. And today, or tonight, I picked, let me see if you can see it. It's called Fire and Ice Quartz. And it's got this crackly kind of um, just interior. I don't know how much you can see it, but it's really beautiful. And a dear friend gave it to me, and I haven't used it in a long time. And so I looked up what it means because I can't remember all the stones. Um, and it is for transformation and balancing, finding harmony within, energy amplification and cleansing, mental clarity and focus. Here comes Poppy. Come on. It's used for spiritual growth to align all chakras and strengthen the connection with the higher self. And I had to laugh at the last one, physical vitality. It's associated with boosting energy levels, aiding in detoxification, and supporting recovery from illness. Is that not funny? So that's the stone I chose. And then I always pick a card deck too. And so tonight I picked the crystal card deck. And so I'll ask my guides. I'm going to draw a card. Let me know if this deck is the right deck to use tonight. And this is the card I drew. Can you see it? Aquamarine communication. So, of course, I had to laugh at that too, because that's pretty obvious. So, I am going, hang on here. You know what? Let me go ahead and read the prayer. And then we're going to jump in with the guides. We might draw a card at the beginning and another one at the end just to kind of bookend our talk tonight. So we got Poppy all settled in. Everybody's joining. Yeah. Okay. I ask God if He will have a shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. Okay. All right, so the guides do want to start, they want to take a moment and they would like for you just for a moment to close your eyes. And they would like for you to take a couple of deep breaths, just slow inhales. Really allow yourself to be here, be in this moment. Bring 100% of your awareness into this moment, into this gathering, into whatever space you're sitting in. And the guides want to thank you for being curious, for being open, for willing to walk in awareness, for continuing to seek your own evolution with your curiosity and your questions, but just even being able to be here and participate in this gathering. And so there's a real big thank you for that. And what the guides are saying too, the more aware you are, the more aware you become. It's the more you raise your vibration, the more you evolve, the more wisdom you bring with you on your journey. And with wisdom, they said not always, but most often comes kindness. And the world needs both of those right now. And so they have a lot of appreciation for you in the journey that you're each taking individually and collectively. So you can open your eyes if you haven't already. And I'm going to let's just draw one card here to see. Oh, interesting. Morganite, relationship healing. Gosh, that does make sense. The guides, the guides say, of course it does. Um, there are, relationships right now in general, just collectively, relationships with our global partners, relationships with each other, our neighbors, they're challenged right now. And some of you may be experiencing other kinds of relationship challenges. And so the guides are telling me that relationship healing is at hand. And it looks chaotic right now. And they're speaking more about what's going on in this country, what's going on in the world. And it does look like that it is coming to a climax. There's a lot of you on here I know follow astrology. And there's some big punches coming one Monday with Neptune going into Aries. And I don't know if I wrote this somewhere or I talk about it a lot, but the last time Neptune was in Aries was in 1861. And it was like within 34 hours, the Civil War really started. So it does bring that revolutionary energy. And tonight, when I was typing in to set up for the show tonight, I put the date up there and I put in 2012. Like, where did that come from? And so I went and looked, like, what happened astrologically 2012, and are we revisiting something? And I thought it was really curious because in 2012, Neptune went into Pisces. And it just left Pisces. But when it went into Pisces, it also brought about like spiritual revolution. There was some social revolution then too. There was a lot going on at that time. Now we're looking at Neptune in Aries, which is bringing about revolution. The guides want to remind us, though, that good things come out of everything. When things break, when they fall apart, it just gives them an opportunity to take a different shape and will often come back so much better. So stay in your wisdom, stay in your kindness, and be mindful that this is a time, what the guides are saying, we may not be seeing relationship healing right now, but we are seeing a lot of divide. We're seeing a lot of well, if you watch the news, you got to know what's going on. It's really hard to define. But the guides are saying relationship healing is at the forefront. Like that is not the goal of what's happening now, because that's not the best word. I can't pull that through. But where we're going is unity and healing and really loving each other. And that has to fall apart as we know it first. And we are witnessing that. So stay in your awareness. Continue to move and act from your wisdom and your kindness. Gosh, you guys, it's so wonderful to see all of you here. Now, I do have some questions that got sent in. So I'm going to pop through those, and then we'll have time to get to you guys online tonight. And I know there's a terrible glare on my glasses, but I hope y'all can see me okay. Okay. Let's see here. All right, this one, I can't read this whole question, it's too long, but I have a person that's doing some remodeling on a house, kind of a lot of restructuring, and she wants to know if her house spirit has anything to say to her. We have connected with this spirit before. She and I have, so I'm just going to skip to that question. Does her house spirit have anything to say with what's going on right now? Because they actually can't live in the house at this time. All right, so let's see. I'm going to take these off here. All right. The house spirit is telling me to tell you that everything is going according to plan, and it appreciates your concern greatly. It feels your love for the house. And they said, or the spirit said, um, while you have an urge and a desire to really like tend everything in the house and you have this vision for it, they said to really slow down with this. And that's why there have been hiccups and little stops and bumps along the way, because it's almost like if you're going to a really fancy restaurant and you're paying a lot for this meal, you want to savor every bite and you really want to appreciate what's gone into maybe the ambiance of the place, or the company that you're with, or just how the chef prepared things. And so the idea that house spirit would like for you to take is the savoring and understanding that each part of this journey you are growing and evolving. It has given your family a different way to bond, and that you and your fur babies a different way to be here. It fosters more appreciation for what you really are doing. And so the house spirit is saying thank you. And please understand this is a slow process, but hold on to your vision, yet don't hold tight to that vision because it's going to change a little bit. But it very much will be a place of support for you and loves you as much as you love it. So thank you for asking that. Okay. I'm just going to enlarge my screen so I don't have to use my eyeglasses because of that glare. Okay, hang on here. Well, maybe I need to put my glasses back on. Okay, here we go. I would like to ask you to ask the Akashic Records, what question do you have for Mitchell? I'm just going to say his name because he put it in here to answer. I always find mind-blowing answers to these questions that I've not considered. Okay, so I would like you to ask, what question do you have for Michael to answer? Well, that's cool. Let's see here. I said Michael. I'm thinking of Archangel Michael. He's been around a lot lately. He's been coming in a lot of sessions. So maybe he's here tonight with us if any of you called him in. Okay, Mitchell. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, they are asking me, they're telling me to ask you to list 5 things that really scare you. And then look at these things and would you be willing to move towards one of them? So, like it's jumping out of a plane as an example, if that really scares you. And they said they want you to really look at these things and ask yourself how your life would be if you weren't afraid of these things. Oh, I might have to share that question. That's a really good one. So thank you for asking that. I'm going to put my glasses on, y'all. Okay. Okay. I recently got to experience the Buddhist monks walk by our neighborhood on a bitter cold morning here in North Carolina. They are true peace warriors, bringing people together through their peaceful nature. My question is, what do your guides say is their mission, and what will be the outcome of it once they reach Washington, D.C.? Okay. So the guides are saying that the monks have been very clear about their mission just being to spread peace and to demonstrate the energy of peace no matter what the circumstances they're facing, or the conditions even that they're walking in. And that is what they want to really, it's more of a demonstration and to remind people what they're capable of. It's really, I'm so glad you're asking this question, because I got to see them too when they came through here in Georgia, and it evoked an emotion out of me that I have been unable to describe. And because I got so emotional, and I have been thinking and thinking and thinking about, like, what is it? And I'm watching people all over, have the same response. And it dawned on me the other day, when I was just thinking more about it, that they are showing us who we are. Like, we are seeing ourselves in the mirror, yet we have lost touch with it. And when we see them, when we listen to them, to witness that, it is a reminder of who we are, and that we all have that capability within us. And they really are demonstrating peace is within. So no matter what's going on around us, like I said, the conditions they're even walking in, as long as they're peaceful on the inside, everything else is temporary. And that's really what they're doing. There's nothing beyond that mission. What will happen when they reach DC? Well, you know what? That's a big astrological, another big one of those punches coming in, like February, I think 12th or 13th. Saturn's going into Aries. It's been 30 years since then. So it's really auspicious, isn't it, that they're arriving in DC at that time. So what's going to happen? Let me see what the guides, if they will indicate. Gosh, they're saying that the energy of this walk is growing day by day by day, and the effect it's having on the people is growing day by day. And in Washington, they said, think of it as if you took, and I'm talking not a little rock, but a big rock, and threw it into a body, of water, maybe a still lake. One, there's going to be a splash, but then those rings are going to reverberate out. And they're saying it's almost like when they get to DC, it's like that rock going into the water, and there will be a splash, but then it will create almost like rings, waves of that energy spreading throughout, and not just our country, which is really nice to hear. So it's a unique time, really, and I don't know if any of y'all are going. If you do, let me know, because I'm planning to be there with my sisters, no matter what. Okay, thank you for asking that. All right, I've got a couple more here. All right, my thoughts have been turning inward, really soul searching. I'm ready to move forward and find my next chapter. I just don't know what it is. I feel really stuck, but I'm trying to just go one day at a time, trying to get motivated. But it seems like I talk myself out of things to do or need to do. I'm just curious if the guides have anything to say. So this is someone, I'll give you a little backstory, that lost her husband, the love of her life. last year and then had to move. So she had a lot of big changes. And you can understand coming into a new year, like, oh, looking at this year with a whole different landscape to navigate. So I understand that question. So let me see your guides here, what they would want you to know. Well, they said they would have you, and this goes for a lot of us. So I really appreciate this question too. We often are in this doing mode, like I should be doing something, and that's not necessarily the best path. And really, if it's more about being, and when you feel stuck, and this is going to kind of sound just cliche, but this is what they're saying. It's like you just got to look at that stuckness and understand that stuckness shows up for us sometimes because it's like we have to be there long enough to get inspired. They're telling me they want you to start looking at yourself in the mirror every day and say kind things to yourself. They said you've forgotten how to be with yourself and you've looked too much on doing for others, being for others, always taking care of things. And so now that it's like, oh, everything is shifted, this is about you and your life. How do you want to be here? And it's really hard to put that focus on yourself. And it's hard to know what you want. It's hard to know how to be here when you've been such a wonderful, caring, giving person. Um, so it's time for you to kind of be a little selfish and think of, they said go back to when you were 5. What were you thinking and feeling about your life at age 5? Looks like that part of you really, really needs some soothing and wants to show up again. There's a little girl in you that wants to feel safe to play. So that's some deeper work to reflect on, but it could really be valuable to do. So thank you for asking that. Okay, I'm going to say, hang on here. Okay. Please discuss how we can communicate with animals, both domestic and wild. Dogs seem to learn some words and what they mean. However, that is not a two-way conversation. There are people teaching how to communicate, and it is full conversations. Are these real or not? What is the best way to understand what they want to communicate? How can we communicate in a meaningful way? Okay. I love that question too. Let me see here. Well, I'll tell you, in my experience, and I've known people that have gone through animal communication training, and where the trainers will tell you that animals speak in pictures, and it's kind of like looking at like a little Polaroid printout, if y'all remember what those are, but it's speaking in just photographs. That is not my experience. My experience is full-on conversations, just like we're having here, or we would have in a session. Animals, like house spirits, have personalities and opinions and can be very chatty. So one thing I would say is if you're communicating with anything, a house, a plant, an animal, it's the same thing. And it's like everything's available to have a conversation. And so if you could allow your mind to trust in that, it becomes easy. And I say that sitting here doing what I do, but it really is. It's like if you are talking to an animal. Now, I do have a hard time talking to mine beings in person, but not ones in spirit and not your animals. I don't know why I can't talk to mine, but I guess I'm not supposed to. um, but plants anything, if you're talking to and you hear something back in your head and you think, oh, I just made that up, or I'm just making stuff up in my head, you're not. Just pay attention to that. Pay attention to what's coming back. Because the minute you start doubting it, you lose the connection. But trust in that first response, no matter what. Let's see, what they want to communicate. Okay. It's funny. It's like what my experience with animals have been, and then what the guides are saying too. It's so when we look at cats, say they represent, like as a spirit animal, there's a message that's associated with them. But if we're connecting with a particular cat, it may be here to bring easiness to your home. It may be in your home to be a guardian. So animals, all animals, even though they come from a species that has a certain metaphysical, spiritual message attached to it, within that category, there's all different kinds of beings in there. I have met ascended master dogs, ascended master cats. I've met animals that have been revered in Egypt, animals that come from different planets. So they're like humans in that sense. We're all human, having these human experiences, but yet we're all individual at the same time, having our own stories. Well, the same is true for animals. And many of them are here with specific missions. Many of them are here because they're companions to you, and they want to be on this journey with you. Some come in for a period of time when you really need support in your life, and they are able to leave when that support is no longer needed. There's been a transformation, so to speak, in your life. They can go on, and then they'll come back often to be a witness to your journey after that transformation. So, and then some, honestly, they are coming in to have certain experiences. Um, some cats want to come in and be feral and in and out. They just want that wildlife experience to see what it's like. Some want to come in and never leave a house. And so they're having their own little soul journeys too, if that makes sense. And it's really, it's unlimited for them in their avenues of journeying as it is for us. So hopefully that helps. Communicate in a meaningful way beyond just your presence, your awareness, your attention. They hear everything. When you're talking with people in your home and they're living with you in your home. They hear what you're saying. They know what's going on. They have a consciousness beyond ours, which you already know. But just be mindful and be clear with your intentions with them. And I don't really see how you couldn't be. So hopefully that helps. That's a great question. All right, one more. How do you move forward after heartbreak? Isn't that so funny? Well, maybe you get a piece of morganite. Morganite. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful pink stone. Actually, you know what? Oh, ha! I just flipped right to that. We clearly meant to hear this. Um, Breathe this gentle yet powerful energy deep into your heart and open yourself to receive its divine love. The beautiful crystal is the grandmother stone of rose quartz. It holds an even deeper wisdom of love. It assists you deeply to love yourself and to expand this universal love out into the world in order to love all that is and beyond. It helps you to look honestly at old sabotaging relationship patterns that are keeping you stuck and stagnant in old stale energy. Morganite invites you to take a leap of faith into the heart where you can find the strength and courage to heal. Let me see here. Well, if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to read a little bit about the message from the crystal diva that accompanies Morganite. Um, Things may have been challenging of late, so Morganite shows up to bless you with its healing rays and to assist you in any healing required for you to move forward in your relationship in a loving and positive way. There are amazing opportunities for personal growth and deeper connection available to you at this time. Open up and allow the divas to shine their healing light upon you and receive this deep awakening of the heart. Hand over your past relationship hurts and old wounds that are no longer serving you. It's time to allow the layers of protection to dissolve and to be open to healing with ease and grace. Be aware that what feels like a crisis can often be a profound catalyst for change. Deep wounds and old patterns may be surfacing in order to provide great opportunities for transformation, change, and renewal. Let go of old self sabotaging patterns, and you will deepen your wisdom and understanding of relationships. As you experience this deep personal healing from past relationships and old wounds, you will feel your relationship with yourself deepen and a new light shining in your heart. Know that you are deserving of a loving, divine relationship, and now it is time to truly embody and believe this for yourself. Allow your heart to shine on. I have to say, for you individually going through that, but for us looking at this collectively, and it's like that love and that wisdom that they're even talking about in here, that the guides are bringing forth, that the monks are going to, like, you know, throw that rock down and waves are going to spread out, just like the love that we get to spread out when we really do our healing. You know, the guides are telling me to say in a reading recently for someone who also asked about heartache and heartbreak, and the guides told him that they wanted him to look at when things like that happen. It is almost like we are being chiseled. Your heart is being chiseled like a work of art. And with each heartache, it's like it's being chiseled for the true art of the heart to show up and reveal itself. And so, in that case, and in every heartache, we become wiser. And the guides are telling me to tell you it's preparing you for something even greater that you cannot even set your imagination to create for you. So they said to hold fast and to hold steady and do your healing and do this work and work with the divas of the heart and this crystal morganite, and know that you don't even have to have the crystal in your hand. It's already being gifted to you and to every one of you that is a part of this program tonight. They said they are gifting that energy for you to work with also, and that's why they wanted to guide me to read the message about that card. So wow, it's really powerful. Let me see if there's well, it's like the person whose husband passed. You know, you're looking at a landscape that's all of a sudden different, and like you got to switch gears. Your plans have changed, and it's about, you know, how do you adjust? How do you react? And it's what the monks say, peace is within. Everything outside of us is temporary, and let them remind you of who you are, and that your light is not diminished by having that experience. And if anything, it's going to shine brighter. Okay. All right. Let me put that one up. All right. Let's see what we got here tonight. And if I pass over some of y'all, it's because I can't see that well. So just email me a question if I don't catch it tonight. Let's see. Here we go. Thank you thank you for liking my background. Let's see here. I'm so glad to be here too. Yep. And oh, your granddaughter's name is Poppy. Oh, she's laying down here on her little thermal mat next to me right now. Okay, let's see. What advice is there for me in my life now in the Akashic Records? Well, let me ask, do you have anything in particular you're curious about? It's easy. If you got something specific I can focus on. Okay, I'm feeling really low energy. Do my guides have a message for me? Okay. Let's see here. Well, you might be like me and just need an extended period of rest. Um, you know what? Something that's been coming up too. The guides would like, and they're going to answer you, but they did say when we are having things going on, um, like my sister had a migraine the other day, and the guides were like, "Tell her to ask the migraine uh, what message it has for her." And like my cousin, had an ankle and a knee thing, and they're like, "Tell her to see if the ankle or the knee will tell what's going on." So the low energy, it's like ask the low energy as if it is an entity that you are having a relationship with, and ask it what it's there to show you, what it's there to tell you. One of the things that I'm hearing is hydrate more. They would have you hydrate. There's something with water, being around water or in water or something. Drinking more water would be really, really helpful for you. Hang on 1 second here. They would like for you to give yourself to one day, just one day, to do nothing. If you want to take 4 naps that day, or you just want to watch movies all day, they are saying just give yourself a day to do nothing. But it looks like there's some rest, I would say, for you to catch up on, but it doesn't look much. But water and rest on here. They're also telling me that this is a time. They're showing me a nest now, like prepare your nest, get ready to receive. So I don't know if something, I would say, new is coming into your life. Could that be a person? Could that be, a hobby, a project? I'm not sure, but they're saying prepare the nest. When I hear nest, it makes me think of a person. Could be an animal. Uh, but they're saying this is a time to be low energy so that you can I would say be with your home, be with your dwelling place, and without too much action. Are there things you want to do? If you were going to welcome new energy into that home, what would that look like for you? So practical with water, practical with a day of rest, and then prepare yourself to receive, to welcome new energy in. And if that is a person, if it's a pet, if it's a plant, I'm not sure what that is, but just you might already know. What changes would you like to make within your dwelling place to receive that, is what I'm hearing. Let me see here. And part of the two, the winter brings on low energy. I'm not sure where you are. If you have a lot of sun or you're affected by the seasons or not, but winter is a period, to slow down. And anyway, so take advantage of this time because it's going to serve you. It's temporary, the guides are saying. All right, let me see if there's anything else physically, mentally, emotionally. They're also telling me there is something as you're preparing to receive, there is something to say goodbye to that has not been properly let go. So I'm not sure what that might be for you, but they're showing me you doing like a little ceremony, little ritual. I don't know if it's an offering outside. If it's a person's name or something, whether you bury something or burn something, but it just feels like a release needs to happen there too. Like you're carrying a little bit of weight you could let go of, but it feels like an energy or of a story or something that you're holding. So yeah, there's a lot there I would say for you to really look at with low energy, from physical things, but also energetic things. So thank you for asking that. That gives us all an opportunity to look at that. Okay, here. Oh wow. I don't know if y'all are live. You can read. He just said, "I'm letting go of an old love and preparing for the next person." Isn't that so cool? Well, good. That's validation for you. Okay, here. Uh, let's see. My birthday is this weekend. I was supposed to spend it with a partner, but now our relationship is over. What do the Akashic Records? Gosh, there's a lot of relationship stuff, huh? This card could not be more poignant tonight. Wow. Um, okay. Spend it with a partner. What do the Akashic do for your birthday? All right, let's see what they would tell you to do for your birthday. Well, the guides would tell you to treat yourself for your birthday like you want to be treated, and whatever that might look like for you, like make this a day for self-care. Whether it is go get a massage, whether it's go um, pick up your favorite takeout, if you don't like to go out to eat by yourself, um, and just be selfish and just luxuriate in your day and celebrate you and your life being here, and show yourself the love that you are ready to invite in from someplace else. Hang on here. I'm not really hearing a travel trip for the weekend or anything like that. Um, I'm not hearing anything like that. So no, nothing big, but more just it's coming into that space, really being in your present moment and awareness of what do I want, and I am in control of my destiny, and I get to be here with me, and I think I'm really freaking awesome, is what the guides want to hear you saying. Um, so happy birthday to you. You're going to have to chime in next week and let us know how you celebrated. Mm. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the Ascended Master Animals. Let me see. That has been really fascinating to connect with. They are so wise. And it's just like when Ascended Masters come in during readings or during, sessions like this, the Ascended Masters of the animals, oh, they bring such wisdom too. It's really powerful. If I can, I will try and remember. I usually have a pretty good memory of things, and maybe I'll write some of those stories on the Substack that I just started. And it's in the links here too. I'm calling it Psychic Salon, but that's going to be more of a place where I share stories of things that come through in the readings for people that are just either helpful information for all of us, or just mind-blowing stories that are just fun, but thought-provoking. But okay. Let me see here. Where's Poppy? Oh, Poppy's right here. She's down here by my feet. Okay, this is so good. Are you still planning on giving an Akashic reading training class this year? It is on my list to do. My first thing is to get my book published, hopefully still in the spring. I've had a little pivot on that right now, but I'm so excited about it, more than I've ever been. But it won't take long. So, yes, um, right now, if I'd say realistically, it will be more in the late summer, fall, but probably fall. Um, so, thank you for asking. My husband is having surgery next week. I'm waiting for a new job. Let's see here. Offer and a final successful interview with the CEO. Oh, are you giving us just an update? That's awesome. Oh, no, you were asking. I'm sorry, y'all. Been a minute here. So you want to know in your Akashic Records, your husband's having surgery and waiting for a new job offer after final. Okay, let's see here. Well, I feel like the surgery is preparing him for this new role. So it's like getting that out of the way. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I feel like that will go well, that he is in good hands. Um, I would say stay positive about that and understand that this is part of almost like healing for him that he's needed support with in this way to have surgery, but it is to prepare him for this next, I would say, part of his life, his journey in this new role. So stay positive, um, and feel the love and the purpose in all of this. I would say your work is to continue to surround him with that divine healing light and let that fill up your whole home. If that's an exercise you can do every morning, and just imagine divine light flowing through your crown, all through your body, and then just flowing out from your heart into your home, around your husband, bringing all the healing energy, uplifting energy, cleansing energy, whatever is needed. That's a practice that you could do right now that would be very powerful for you and your husband in this next journey, for you. Okay. Okay. You are so. Oh, you're in Washington. Oh, Washington. Yeah, you get the winter blues. Not like Arizona. You know, the desert. Okay. Here we go. I have to have surgery in August. Oh, wait. Oh, good. See, you're not supposed to travel for your birthday this weekend. I don't, can y'all, everybody on can see the comments, but it's supposed to snow. So, you know what? Gosh, I would just treat yourself and have a pampering weekend, no matter if you get snowed in. Uh, take it. The watercolor class I'm doing right now, I absolutely love. I love this teacher. She's spiritual, she's meditative, she's playful. It's easy. Oh my God, it's just, I mean, do something like that. Find something that brings out your creative side. You know, when we are feeling stuck, this is a good thing. I'm so glad that you asked this about your birthday. But when we are feeling powerless in our situations, when we are feeling stuck, when we're feeling hopeless, when we are not knowing what that next step is, the guides said this in a recent reading too, that creativity, doing something creative, is an antidote to stuckness. And it shifts everything in your energy and in your experience. That could be rearranging your home. That could be changing the art, on the walls in your home. It could be painting something. It could be moving your plants around. It could be putting them in different pots. But anything creative that you do will pull you out of stuckness. Now, if you do the same creative thing all the time and it's become a routine for you, try something else. Do something different. Challenge yourself. If you're used to painting on little things, paint something huge. Find a mural that someplace you could paint a mural. Does anybody want a mural? But challenge yourself. Step out and do something that you don't normally do. That will change that sense of stuckness. But do this for your birthday weekend, because when you're creative, you know what happens is you're in touch with yourself, and it's like you get your power back and you realize you have everything you need here. And then being creative just leads to the next thing and the next thing. So I love this. Okay. So you had surgery and now second surgery is needed. Gosh, I wonder if you're getting a reset too. Like just getting these things taken care of. Um, that's a long journey. I'm hearing though for you, you need more support. And the surgery looks like is really calling on the people around you to bring in more support. So I would say part of it is you and part of it's them. It's like a co-creative thing. Like they need to show up a little bit more compassionately for you, if that makes sense. Um, and you need to really ask them for help. That's tough. Okay, since my mom passed away, I've been so lost. Do you see joy in my future? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's hard. Let's see here. And I don't know if you've been on for the whole conversation tonight so far, but it's like the monks said, all peace within and everything that's outside of us is temporary. But when we can access that peace, what happens is we have this clarity, we have this wisdom. It's easier to access our loved ones in spirit. And so right now you're feeling the grief and the pain and the hurt. And you know what? That's just going to be there. And when we're feeling that, that's consuming. And it's hard to feel anything else. It's hard to even imagine anything else. And so you kind of got to honor that grief and honor that loss and let yourself understand that's a reflection of how beautiful the connection really was here in the physical. And I'm telling you, if you had that connection here in the physical, well, even if you didn't, it just blossoms in the spirit. And so it's hard to access that though while you have grief. So you really just got to honor this right now. Joy of absolutely will be on the other side of this, because you know what'll happen is as you move through those stages of grief, and go look them up if you don't know them or you're not familiar with them, but the different stages of grief you're going to go through, and you'll repeat some of them, and maybe not even in the order that they're written in. But know that you're going to do that. And as that eases, any loss, any of you, relationship loss, whether it's wanted or not, you're going to have these stages of grief. So what's going to happen is as that grief begins to lift, your mother's going to really show up. And y'all, it's so funny. The other day I was sitting here, I sit in the same chair every morning. I have to show y'all this. Hang on here. My dad's been gone for, isn't that terrible, 6 years, 7 years, I think, this year. And we have a little joke with each other of a fan. One time I went to visit him. The fan I grew up, in my room used to squeak all the time and wake me up at 3 a.m. And so I went home. I'd moved to Florida after college. And when I got home, slept the first night. The next morning, Dad's like, "So how'd you sleep?" And I said, "Well, great, but the fan woke me up at 3 o'clock." He goes, "That's not possible." And I was like, "Well, it did." He said, "I changed the fan. I put in a new fan." And I was like, "Well, it woke me up." And it squeaked. So when my dad shows up, I wonder if y'all can see this. Hang on here. I I am sitting here in a new house. We have not lived here that long. I sit here every morning. Can y'all see this fan turning? There's nothing blowing on it. Nothing blowing. And I look up and look how slow it's moving. Isn't that so funny? And I was just like, that's my dad. So your mom is going to do the same thing. She's going to find her way to show up for you. Y'all will have your own stories together. And this is like 6 or 7 years later, and I'm still like having these profound experiences. And I'm telling you, it's available to all of us. And that is going to happen for you. And you're going to have so much fun. And I know that sounds really hard to hear right now, but you will. You will. If my cousin, if you're still on, her dad sends her songs all the time, right when she needs it. So, she's even gotten to where she'll be driving down the road and say, "All right, Dad, I need you to tell me something." And sure enough, she'll get a song. And it will be like that with your mom too. So just know that's coming. And you'll find real joy in that. And it just becomes magical, really. Aw. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Right. Those are the stages of grief. There's two more. Was it Elizabeth Kubler-Ross did those long time ago? Somebody said there were 7 stages of grief, but they're 5. But there's somebody else wrote 2 more, and I can't remember what they are. Um, I'm still here. Hey, Dad. Hey. I even friends that say, "Hey, Terry," when we hear, "Don't you forget about me." Oh, it'll be 10 years in July. Wow. Isn't that so funny? Yeah, her dad was a trip. My uncle, obviously. Um, okay, let's see. Where should I? So, Junior Sailor, see if you see the 7 stages of grief if you're looking. I want to see if I'm remembering that correctly. All right, Linda, let's see here. Where should I be to meet a more aligned life partner? So, where should you be emotionally, energetically, or where should you be physically? Okay, 7 stages of grief are typically including that's the shock, disbelief, denial, anger, bargaining, guilt, depression. That's it, acceptance and hope. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Just a little expansion on that, but the shock and disbelief really is a part of it. Okay. So, all right, I'm sorry. Yes, physically where you should go to meet someone, or emotionally, energetically to meet someone. What are you talking about there? Okay. Well, you know what the guides are telling me? So they, this is the problem with people that walk in awareness. The guides are being funny. Sometimes we walk in awareness and we want to meet that aligned partner. We want to meet somebody else who walks in awareness, but that's not always going to happen. And so the guides would say for throw that idea out the window. And they said instead frame it as, I am ready to receive someone who's going to assist in my positive expansion, who's going to allow the next best parts of me to show up. Because remember, relationships aren't what we get out of them, they're who we get to be in them. And a relationship allows you to show up and exercise different parts of yourself. And so look at it more as, okay, I'm ready to expand. I want to evolve. But in a playful way. Maybe keep the playful, loving way out there and take alignment off and look at it more like, bring me that partner that's going to allow me to live in more of my highest and best. And even if it looks completely unlike anything I would have ever chosen, because the universe is going to send you what your soul desires to evolve, to experience, to evolve, if that makes sense. Hang on here. So the guides are saying, think of more how you like to be in relationship. What parts of you like how do you like to be? Do you like to be playful? Do you like to be silly? Do you like to be, have those soulful conversations? Do you like, and maybe a partner's not going to be all those things to you. Um, do you like to go certain places? There are things you're going to want compatibility in that's different than alignment. So think of how you want to be in relationship, things you want to be doing, and just tell the universe to bring that person to you, that you are ready to experience life in a more expansive way, in living in the light that you know you are. Does that make sense? I hope so. Physically. Well, physically, all right, hang on here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if they tell me any place. Huh. Well, they're taking me to Europe for some reason. I don't know if you have plans to go to Europe. Now, that could be Italy, it could be Spain, it could be south of France. I'm not really sure. Well, actually, it could be, they're taking me over to even Denmark and Norway. I, I have no idea if that makes any sense to you, but I would say if you are planning a journey over there, that would take that as validation to go. So, uh, okay, let's see here. All right, you guys. This was such. Oh, let me pick another card for like our little bookend here. This was such a great conversation tonight. I love the themes that show up. Okay, so let me see. What is our parting card? Well, amethyst meditation. That is that being present with yourself. Meditation, meditation doesn't have to be this big, heavy, like, got to sit down and got to do this and da da da. Meditation, look at it as just being really present in the present moment, being aware and appreciating silence, free from distractions, you know, like, can you leave the TV off a little bit longer? Can you maybe have silence in the car? Can you not look at your phone? It's like, it's just really being present with yourself. So, isn't this lovely? Well, you guys are the best. I love your questions. I love your energy. I love your comments. Um, Australia. Yeah, overseas. Well, I was going Europe, but watch you go over there and meet some Italian or something in Australia. You never know. This is fun. Thank you for your openness and your curiosity and great conversation, your comments. Really enjoyed being here with you all tonight. And I will see you next week. We'll be in February. Can you believe it? Yeah. See you next week. Okay. Bye. Thanks, you guys.